Alright, in this reassessment we're going to be looking at vectors and forces. Question states, a massive light hangs over the table in Jeremy's dining room. The light is supported by 4 strong chains which make an angle of 75 degrees with the horizontal. The force in each chain is said to be 35.8 newtons. From this question we are asked to determine the force with which a single chain pulls horizontally and vertically upon the light. And for part B, it asks determine the mass of the light. So in order to start this problem, I drew out a free body diagram that states the angle in which the chain is being held by the light, and then I also write that each chain is 35.8 newtons. So to first go about part A of the problem, we know from learning information through the standards that we're taught in class, we need to know the difference between horizontal and vertical forces. So for a horizontal force component, we would take the cosine of that given angle measurement and multiply it times the force in each chain. Therefore, we're going to get cosine 75 times 35.8, which is going to give us 9.265, which as you can see I rounded and it gave us 9.3 newtons. From there, we're going to also take the vertical component, and from the vertical component we can figure out that it's going to be the sine of the given angle measurement. So we get sine of 75 times 35.8, which gives us 34.58, which I rounded, as you can see, to 34.6 newtons. From this information, we can then go to part B of the problem, where it says determine the mass of the light. So first, in order to solve for the mass of the light, it kind of went in steps, to which we first had to find what the vertical component would be. Therefore, we could go about finding the exact mass of the light. So in order to find this, we took the vertical component, like I said, of the chain, which we got is 34.58 newtons, and we're going to multiply it not just by 1 but by 4, because it stated in the problem that the force of each chain was the same. So therefore 34.58 newtons is going to be the force in each chain. So we're going to have to multiply that by 4 in order to get our answer. So therefore we're going to get 34.58 newtons times 4, which is going to give us an answer of 138.3 newtons. And from there we're going to take the mass constant, which is known as 9.8, and multiply it divide it, by our 103.83 newtons by 9.8, and we're going to get 14.1 kilograms. So therefore, in order to solve this problem, we have to distinguish the difference between cosine and sine. We're always going to have to draw out our free body diagram just to kind of get a representation of what the problem consists of. Therefore, we can go on to our next steps. So there you have it. You can look back on the front page. Here's the problem, and the answers are as given. Thank you.